This episode of Oops All Banter, we tell you some secret LAFC confessions that were sent our way.
People submitted confessions. We will give them anonymously to you. We will decide if they are absolved and forgiven for their confession. We got some really juicy shit.
It's possible that one of these confessions could lead to a divorce. So if you want to hear that, stick around.
True. We don't know. There's stuff about players that people don't normally say out loud. There's stuff about vibes, the fans, the fandoms.
The 3252, people say some secret stuff about the 3252.
Some secret stuff about allegiances.
There's some juicy confessions. So if you want to hear, this is an episode for you. Hello and welcome to Oops All Banter, the crack cocaine of Happy Foot, Sad Foot. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Darren Miller.
And I'm Vince LaRosa. I know everything. I'm a big fucking know-it-all. And let me tell you something about soccer, huh?
Vince LaRosa, the troll.
You gotta solve
Happy Foot, Sad Foot.
Hagrid is not a troll. Hagrid is a half giant, Darren.
Oh no, I was moving on to a second thing he could be.
Oh, yes. It's me, Vince LaRosa. Solve 3 riddles of mine. The first one is, when they say 3-4-3, which 3 is the back line and which 3 is the front line?
Jesus.
Vince cannot be here tonight, but for those of you who don't know, Oops All Banter is our fun little Patreon-only episodes. You might be listening at the little sneak preview right now as well, but it's a Patreon-only episode where it's all just us talking. Although we did solicit some fun stuff today that I think is going to be truly chaotic for this episode.
I'm so excited for this.
It is. So we haven't talked about this, Darren. Initially, when Vince was going to be able to be here, we were going to do a best 11, right? Where it's like the team's best 11 for all time. And then when Vince couldn't make it, we said, all right, well, we don't know as much about soccer. Let's do Vibes best 11, right? Like who are the best 11 best vibes at all the positions. But now that we solicited all these confessions, LAFC confessions, I kind of think we should just do confessions. We have so many.
Yeah, let's do it.
And so here's what we did. We asked, here's what the solicitation said. It said, let me pull up Twitter. Tonight we're recording an episode and we are soliciting LAFC fan confessions. DM us your deepest LAFC secrets or whatever you would never admit publicly. We will keep you anonymous and decide if you should be forgiven. Finally, let it off your chest. And let's just say we've had, I want to say 40 to 50 confessions come in.
A shocking response.
And so many of them are unhinged, like truly frightened. We've created a good audience, I think.
I'm could not be more proud and thrilled and just very happy about everybody.
They range from like a slightly hot take about LAFC to you need to go to therapy. There's one in there also maybe you deserve a divorce as well.
Yeah, there are a couple of those.
But before we get into the segment, how you doing, Darren? We haven't spoken since our good friends in Inter Miami were kicked out. How you doing generally? How you feeling about MLS? How you feeling about the playoffs? We haven't talked about the playoffs.
Oh my goodness. It was so exciting to see Miami knocked off. That was a really fun game to watch. But I honestly didn't even put 2 and 2 together until after the match that we now have home field advantage as long as we keep winning.
We will not play a playoff game not at BMO.
That is insane.
The one in Vancouver is the last one.
So
and think about how bad of a season we had at times. And that's where this ends up.
I was just rooting for Atlanta as a hopeful fan of the game to, the David and Goliath matchup.
That matchup was so funny because it was just clear Miami doesn't have great defense, right? But Brad Guzan was unbelievable. And I just couldn't get over him getting shoved into the net and there not being even a yellow card.
Not even a call of any kind.
Yeah. It's if
the ref was right there and was I'm okay with this.
Like I get that like Brad Guzan got in their face a little bit, but you're not allowed to shove anyone, let alone a goalie.
Right.
And it's like a dead ball situation, right? It's not in the game. You can't just push someone.
I don't know how that's supposed to be allowed.
And like, if you want to avoid people thinking you give Miami special treatment, you have to call that, right?
Right. You have to call something.
You at
Yeah.
least, you don't have to, you have to call, I guess you have to give them a yellow, right? Because a foul there means nothing because they've already scored. Yeah, it's got to be a yellow.
Also, Messi was the one who like ripped it out of his hands.
Yeah,
That
that I
can't be
care.
allowed either.
It isn't, but that one I'm like, it's the playoffs. They're trying to catch up. That one I get it, right? But like Brad Guzan, I think was like kind of playing that up a little bit, but immediately shoving him into the net, and then Suarez being right there so that he like slingshotted himself up like he was on a jungle gym from the
Yeah.
net. It was a happy day for everyone in Major League Soccer besides the people who work at Major League Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt good to have this unbeatable team lose, and you forget that like that's how special us winning the Supporter Shield and MLS Cup was under Steve Cherundolo that first season. It's super fucking rare to do both.
Yeah. I mean, this comes up a lot, but we really are spoiled.
Yeah.
It looked for a second this season that we wouldn't be. It was like, okay, I guess we're getting a taste of it.
Well, I do think there is something terrifying about, on paper, the only team standing in our way are the Galaxy, right? Like that should be MLS Cup.
Oops. You've made it to a dead end. That means you're not a Patreon subscriber. And if you'd like to watch the whole episode or listen to the whole episode, you can just by becoming a friend of the foot at patreon.com/happyfootsadfoot.
And I want all of you to know that Darren just came up with that oops, you made it to a dead end thing on the top of his head. I had no idea he was going to do that. And it was pretty good. It's much better than the edit that we just recorded where I did it, and we're going to use this one.
You ruined the illusion again, Travis. 2 for 2.
Well, they won't know that I ruined it 2 for 2 because this is the only one that they will ever hear.
Well, I guess that makes me 1 for 1.
Patreon.com/happyfootsadfoot if you want to, whatever. We can end it wherever. Okay.
We can end it wherever is definitely going to the final cut of this.